So 4 years later, what do I think? Well, at the time, to actually skip back 4 years, if you'd have asked me how long are you going to be living this way, I'd have probably said a couple of years. And then obviously the world changed, and I think that brought to home how fragile what we've got really is. Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I thought I'd finish off the series about being off-grid. And yeah, being off-grid is something I really like, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and obviously, if you can, get epic views like this as well. So yeah, in the final sort of video, what I wanted to talk about was the sort of ups and downs of, if you like, of being off-grid, the realities of it. So obviously I've spoke about what off-grid means, spoke about power and solar and things like that, and what I've not really spoken about is who does it, what are the struggles, day-to-day struggles, and what it can actually mean as well, what sort of life you can live off-grid. So I'm going to start off with who does it. This is the sort of crucial bit for me about living off-grid, is that you don't know from one day to the next who you're going to meet, who you're going to talk to. And I think that's like really one of the best things I like about it, in all fairness, because it does actually give you the possibility of speaking to anybody from any walk of life. And so far I've found that people who live off-grid, whilst you might have something sort of like different in your head about, sustainability or impact on the planet for environmental reasons, or just the fact that you want to go and travel or those types of things, you will find people from all walks of life that live this lifestyle. And I think that really kind of draws people in, that it's not just there's no other way to sort of to live, like you've split up in a relationship and the only way to live is in a van or whatever, or even people that retired. The fact of the matter is, everybody from every walk of their life seems to enjoy this lifestyle for their own reasons. And that in itself then draws you into the next thing, which is the community. And the community and the way it helps people, just draws people together or gives people advice or whatever, is another aspect, I think, a positive aspect of living life this way, is that it can be very lonely at times. And also, it's nice to get out on your own as well. It's quite a paradox, really, isn't it? I've certainly found that I love being out on my own, but I also love company. I love someone to talk to. Like, I can only last so many days, if you like, of being on my own before I need to speak to people. So with that said, it's the perfect thing, isn't it? You put your van in the middle of nowhere, or if you want to go and speak to people, you can put your van right next to where other people are parked. My experience is the last 4 years living full-time in a van, and I guess that's what draws me to these conclusions, really, is that I've gone through quite a steep learning curve, and I think throughout like the last 4 years, some of my videos have shown things that have changed, things that I did and then didn't like and then changed again. So I think it's all explained, really, that there is no right and wrong way to do it. There's just your way and whatever works for you. If I was to give any advice, it would be, don't replicate a house. Just live basically. And then as you start to need more, obviously just add those things that you feel that you miss. And then eventually what you'll do is you'll end up with something that you're happy about and ultimately works best for you, because we all live different lives. We all want different things from life. Some people love power, so they have hundreds of amp hours of lithium. Other people want to have a shower, hot water and all that kind of stuff, and those things are different for everybody, certainly different for me. What I've learned is that you just need to actually start. As crazy as that sounds, your security, you'll work that one out. You'll find a gut feeling inside about where's safe to park, where isn't safe to park, who's safe to travel with, who isn't. You'll also work out, how much power you need, how much water you need, whether you want to use diesel heaters or, gas heaters, whether you want a gas hob or an electric cooking hob or anything like that. It's your choice at the end of the day. But key to this is what you want to do and where you want to go. Because at the end of the day, the world really is your oyster. You can go anywhere and do anything if you live nomadic off-grid lifestyle. You're not connected to anything. You're not reliant on anything other than fuel. The other thing that I would say as well is make sure that you've got something to do. I would say that there are daily tasks that would suffice most people's boredom. But yeah, I find that having something to do helps me out. Personally, for me, exploring places like this is what really gets me. I can go for a walk or a cycle. I can basically just travel along, whichever country's networks I want, until I find something that really kind of like, excites me or gets me interested. So I think that's kind of a key thing, really. So 4 years later, what do I think? Well, at the time, to actually skip back 4 years, if you'd have asked me how long are you going to be living this way, I'd have probably said a couple of years. And then obviously the world changed, and I think that brought to home how fragile what we've got really is. And without getting too philosophical on this, I did have a point of wanting to say in this video that I think that if you've got this spirit within you to go out there to explore, I think you should just go for it. I know a lot of people say to us, oh yeah, it's part of our 5-year plan. I mean, who knew 4 years ago that we would be going through what we've done over the last 2 years, 3 years? So just go for it, do it, experience it, make it part of your memories to pass on to whoever. Don't make it a dream, because dreams don't always come true, whereas the reality of living this way, some days are going to be bad, some days are going to be absolutely astonishing. I mean, you might look at this now and go, yeah, but that looks picturesque, John, that looks lovely. It's not always like that. It isn't. Right now it's about -7, I think, something like that. So I'm freezing. So it's a balance. How long I'm going to sit out here talking to the camera and appreciating the good view, but getting absolutely freezing cold. And that's van life, isn't it? It's a compromise. Living off grid is a compromise. So yeah, just go out there and experience it. I don't now foresee that I will be stopping doing this anytime in the future. I think that it throws challenges my way that keeps my brain active. It keeps me fit and healthy because I'm outside more, because I'm doing things more. Like I say, daily maintenance tasks, just go finding supplies, or just going walking around, because you're constantly outside. You're in the outside, you're not sort of in bricks and mortar where you feel all kind of cocooned. You're in the outside, you're in nature. And it entices you out of your van all the time. It entices you to go and explore it. And that keeps my mind active, keeps my body active. And ultimately it gives you a bit of a thrill as well, because apart from the fact of getting to see stunning places like this, but ultimately, just the adventure of where to go next. What am I doing today? Like I say, even for mundane tasks, like going finding fuel or food, where am I going to find it? What can I do on the way? And I think that's what another thing as well is the journey. Don't ever dismiss the journey. You may have a destination in mind, and the destination might be epic, but don't dismiss the journey. Don't rush the journey. Savor every moment of the journey. Every twist and turn, every turn off that looks interesting, go and explore it. Probably the biggest lesson I've learned over the 4 years is to slow down, is not to rush things, because I'm rushing things because I want to go somewhere. I've got an agenda, I've got a schedule, got to be there, and then after there you go there, and after there you go there. Nah, just enjoy the journey. Wherever you may find yourself going, enjoy the process of what you see along the way. Not where you're going to, not where you want to be, just the whole journey of it. It's one of the reasons why I love the bike so much, because it has enabled me to slow down. I don't now have to stress about all sorts of weird and wonderful things that I did stress about before, about when we're going next. I've got to do there tomorrow, there. What I do now is I kind of like drop myself in somewhere like this, and then I'll stay around for a few days, which for me, I don't sit around for a few days normally. So for me, to alleviate the boredom, I don't read or anything like that. But getting on my bike and going exploring is my way around it. My way to experience more of the adventure without actually keeping on traveling to, sort of like seeing like I'm constantly driving to somewhere, is to get on the bike and then just, go and explore, see where the bike takes me. The bike takes me so many more places than the van would, and gives me the option to travel so much slower on the bike than in the van, that I get to see so much more, and I can go and explore so much more as well, because the bike is so much more able to get down, dirt roads or anything like that. And the amount of places I've found because of where the bike took me, and then, put them as points on a map where I can go to, and even just say, right, okay, then, well, I'm going to go back to the van and I'm going to move the van here. Might only be like, sort of 5-10 miles up the road, but it's a different view. And from then I can go and explore around that area as well. And it's that I guess is the biggest takeaway of this, which is to take it easy, travel slowly, take things easy, savor every moment. And don't put things off. Don't put it off at all. If this appeals to you, do it now. So like I've said, the amount of times that I've spoken to people, and I've kind of really asked them, because I had all this kind of idea in my head about who does this. Is it just me? Am I the only freak or whatever? Who gives up, a detached 4-bedroom house with nice cars and a well-paid job, and then goes to do this instead? And what I found is that, well, it wouldn't. From young people to old people, from people that are disillusioned with, a housing market, so they get a van, they convert a van, start to travel, start to work out they can work remotely. Your living costs are much lower, so it's more sort of sustainable and feasible. To people that are doing what we did, which is saying, well, why am I working all this time in my life for very little time at the end of it, sort of thing? You work for 40, 50 years, and then get 10 years off at the end, and you're paying into everything that everybody else thinks that you should do. And sometimes you should do what you need to do personally, and that's what we're doing. That's what a lot of people are seeing now. So there's a lot of people probably my age, sort of like late 40s, early 50s, that are suddenly leaving the bricks and mortar lifestyle for the off-grid lifestyle. And I don't blame them. But to say that as well, there's a lot of retired people that are doing it as well. There's a lot of people that are sort of like, 70 plus, and they are enjoying this lifestyle in their retirement, which is like a normal thing. You get a motorhome, you retire and you go and travel, but they're living in it full time. They've no longer got a house, although they might have family or something that they can use as a bit of a base. They're not got their own house, so they are nomadic. So just by those facts alone, that there's so many people doing it and so many walks of life, hopefully it should drive home that it isn't something that's wrong with society. You're not weird if you do it. You're just adventurous. So go out there, enjoy it, and join the community and feed back to the community. Tell everyone what you found was your best bit or your worst bit. Pass on your hints and tips, let people know where they should go or should avoid. All those types of things all help everybody else. And for me, that was the biggest part of this, the community. To talk to people and hear their experiences. I mean, sometimes, we'll be parked at the side of the road trying to work out where I'm going next, and someone will just walk up, knock on the door and say, can I help you, mate? You're lost. And you just turn around and say, well, I was thinking of going this way. I was trying to get an idea of which way is the best way to go. and then they'll tell you of all the places that they think are better that you should go and visit. And that's happened so many times. You get speaking to them, you get to hear from other people's perspectives, and yeah, I don't necessarily mean just, you know, sort of people who are living off grid, but people who are just out walking the dog or cycling or whatever, and they're happy to share what it is they love about their little community, so you can go and explore it. Bit of a rambly video, sorry there isn't any clear, you know, top 10 do's and don'ts of living off grid, but I don't believe it's that kind of thing, in all fairness. I believe that everybody has their own view of it and has their own journey. So I'm not about to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do. Really, I'm just trying to sort of, if you like, lay down this is what my 4 years has taught me, and hopefully if that inspires you, then off you go. Right, well, from this stunning view and these crazy temperatures, I think it's about time that I go back in the van and enjoy my heater. So take care, folks, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.